Hi everybody. Y'all are on the video side now, the recorded one. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little out of it because I had to give blood for medical reasons and yeah, and that's why the stream is a little late. Anyways, we're talking about Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson and how they're bad and what they're doing that's really cringy and stupid. So, yeah, what happened was Jill Biden was like, in a professional context, I believe, she was like, I prefer to be called doctor because that's my honorific. And these people are really mad because they just don't like it. They don't like calling people. They don't like the things that they want to be called because they're stupid. And yeah, so let's just watch.
Okay, so people are mad because he's sneering at Joe Biden. If she insists on being called Dr. Joe Biden, I join in the sneering. If you insist on being called doctor because you got a doctorate in divinity, I'm with them. Okay, and I get, he says kiddo. Wow, he said kiddo. Well, yes, I'm sure he would say that to a dude as well. Okay, this is not about sex. It's not about misogyny. I understand that everything on the left has to be massaged into some sort of charge of sexism, racism, bigotry, or homophobia. But I'm sorry, telling a white lady in her late 60s that she should stop calling herself doctor because she is not an actual medical doctor, that is not sexist. It's not. Just because she happens to, first of all, I don't even know that the charge sexism makes sense anymore from the left, considering that they believe a man can be a woman or a woman can be a man. But even if you were to assume that it makes sense now, I'm just wondering exactly why it would be sexist to say that anybody at all should not be called a doctor unless they are an actual medical doctor. By the way, this came up when I was at Harvard Law. There was a and I'll keep dropping that reference because if you're not impressed by Harvard Law, then you certainly should not be impressed by a degree from University of Delaware in education. In any case, I remember when I was at Harvard Law, an actual prestigious law school, okay? And I'm not impressed by it. You shouldn't be impressed by it either. A professor one day was in the class, and a student it was a woman, she raised her hand, and she was called upon, and the professor did not mention her honorific. Okay, it turned out that she had a doctorate in some classics field or something. And one of the other students said, you should call her doctor. And the professor immediately responded, if I have a heart attack, can she help? And she said no. And he said, then I'm not calling her doctor. Agree.
That's stupid.
Agree.
Okay, so yeah, I wanted to try just watching the whole thing first before breaking it down. So, okay. So the term doctor does not just refer to the medical field. It refers to the degree that you get when you go to school. So, you get a thing called a doctorate degree. And the thing is that when you have a doctorate degree, you're typically called a doctor. It just so happens that most people in the medical field have doctorate degrees. Now, the claim that I won't call someone a doctor unless they help me with a heart surgery is really dumb and really low IQ. Because, okay, even if you were to have let's say you were at a dinner table and you were having a heart attack, or even in the context that he was saying, in a classroom where the professor, who was a dipshit, was like, if I were to have a heart attack right now, can this supposed doctor help me out? Well, even though they're a doctor, like even if they were a heart surgeon or someone that works with like hearts or whatever, like even if they had the absolute like qualifications to do that, they wouldn't be able to help because they don't have the equipment and stuff that they need to perform like whatever for heart stuff. And what they would do is they would likely give first aid like anyone else and call an ambulance. That's what they would do. And you don't need to be a doctor for that. Ben's argument could have been a little bit stronger if he said, if I was injured in any way, could they help? But then like, because that's more vague and it's not as specific, because the specificity hurts the argument a little bit. But if even if it wasn't, the argument would still fall apart, because people who aren't doctors could still provide medical attention to someone who needs it. So that's a problem. And when it comes to calling people doctor, like, we do this all the time, and we refer to people who aren't medical doctors as doctor. I have a professor who has a doctorate in what is it, sociology, I think. He's my sociology professor, and he's a doctor of sociology. He's not in the medical field, but he's a doctor because he has studied to the highest level in our education system. So it really doesn't matter. Also, the school you go to doesn't matter either. That's true, Rodent. It's irrelevant. It's not. It has nothing to do with the argument. And nobody cares that Ben Shapiro went to Harvard. That's also like, I no one gives a shit. It's not. It doesn't mean anything. Additionally, the Ben threw in some transphobia in there, and the thing is, Rodent, would Ben Shapiro tell a scientist to their face that they are not a doctor if they cannot heal them? Yeah, most likely, because he's just that dumb. He has the intelligence of an anal ringworm, and he acts like that live on camera every day. So yeah, what I was saying was that he had to throw in some transphobia in there. He's basically, I think what he's trying to say is that calling someone a doctor who can't provide medical attention is like calling a trans person the pronoun that they request to be called, and that's dumb, because like, trans people are the genders and the pronouns that they want. They just are, because gender is a social construct, and I don't feel like going over that again. But yeah, gender is a social construct. It has nothing to do with physical biology, and yeah, basically, if they say they are something, they are something. That's how that works. What else? I think that basically covers it. Also, the sexism thing. No one. I don't think anyone's saying he's sexist for not wanting to call Jill Biden a doctor. Yeah, I wouldn't say that that's a sexist thing. I think, or bigoted or homophobic, whatever. I just think it's stupid. Also, this is referring to an article where this person writes about how Jill Biden shouldn't be called Jill Biden or Dr. Jill Biden because she's not a medical doctor, and they call her kiddo, which is like, it's pretty disrespectful if you're trying to like it's just not mature. If you're an adult, don't call another adult kiddo. That just comes off as really insulting. I don't think it's a sexist insult. It's just not professional. It's not something that you should do, and we shouldn't encourage this. And Ben Shapiro's like, it's cool, whatever. Yeah. Is this the article? I think this is the article. Yeah, this is the article. We'll read it. Madam First Lady, I can't read, I'm sorry. Madam First Lady, Mrs. Biden, Jill, kiddo, a bit of advice on what may seem like a small but important, but I think is not important matter. Any chance you might drop the doctor before your name, Dr. Jill Biden sounds and feels fraudulent. I don't know why. That's literally pulled out of this person's ass. Not to say a touch comic, your degree is, I believe, an ED, a doctor of education, literally has a doctorate. earned at the University of Delaware through a dissertation with the unpromising title Student Retention at Community College Level, Meeting Students' Needs. A wise man once said that no one should call himself doctor unless he delivered a child. Think about it, Dr. Jill and Fort Worth. Drop the doc. I don't know who the fuck this fucking wise man was, but he sounds like a fucking idiot. Yeah, that's my hot take. This random ass wise man is a fucking idiot. And this is just this dumbass person, Joseph Epstein, this motherfucker's opinion. He's a little cum whore and a piece of shit, and he should feel ashamed of himself. This person writes about himself a lot in the next paragraph. The first paragraph. I taught at the Northwestern University for 30 years without a doctorate or any advanced degree. I have only a BA in abstainia from the University of Chicago. Okay, this person's such an entitled little cunt. I don't care about this person. Yeah, I did this and I did that and I received it and Dr. Epstein all just talking about me, little cunt. Anyways, okay, now we're gonna look at Tucker Carlson, because Tucker Carlson also was very upset. So, oh, this is 7 minutes. Okay, I might pause it for this one.
Let's see. You're on vacation with your family when suddenly you double over with shooting chest pains and lose consciousness. You wake up strapped into the back of an ambulance, racing to the emergency room. Paramedics hover over you, trying to keep you calm.
There's some good
You've had a massive
storytelling.
coronary, they shout over the sirens, but we're going to take good care of you. You're about to see one of the best doctors in the country. In fact, Whoopi Goldberg just said this person should be the next Surgeon General. So you slump back onto the stretcher, deeply relieved. Maybe you're going to make it after all. Moments later, they wheel you into the hospital, and there she is, the famous doctor they just told you about. But something's wrong. She doesn't have a stethoscope. There's not a chart or an EKG machine in sight. Instead, she's turning on what appears to be an overhead projector. Jill, a nurse yells, "There's a patient here. What do we do?"
Okay, this is some of the stupidest shit ever. He's literally conflating, like, a doctorate in education with a medical doctor, because he can't comprehend that the term doctor can refer to multiple professions, because he's just not that smart. He has the brain of a parasite, similar to Ben Shapiro, and he's making this elaborate story about how Jill Biden is in the doctor's office and she's useless because she's not a medical doctor. And yeah, this is conflating, like, educational doctor with medical doctor, and how they're not the same thing. And if you think like this, you're really dumb and you should evaluate your life, because this is not how it works. Yeah, why the fuck would you take someone who is injured to Jill Biden? This would never happen. This isn't the type of doctor Jill Biden is. She's not the right doctor for this. There are multiple types of doctors. If you got someone who, like that wise man said in the article, someone who delivered a baby and also has a doctorate, they're not really gonna help you with your chest pain and your heart attack. They're gonna help with delivering babies. They don't do heart stuff. So this is really dumb, really dumb, and yeah.
"That's Dr. Biden to you," the woman replies icily, and then launches into a slideshow on equity and diversity.
I think this is like kind of reminds me of the "It's Ma'am" trans woman. If you don't know, there was a trans lady at GameStop who got really mad because she was repeatedly misgendered and said "It's ma'am," and it became a meme, and a lot of transphobic people use that against trans people. And I will say that, like, she was right to get angry, but she was wrong to burst out like that. Like, it makes sense that you would get angry if someone repeatedly misgendered you, but don't get angry and have a tantrum in the store. And I think she probably knows that now, and she's, like, aware of that, and she lives with, like, the consequences of that really cringy video for the rest of her life, unfortunately. But what was I saying? Like it's doctor, that's doctor to you. Like that's I don't know. It just makes me feel bad inside. I don't think anyone is like that angry about their doctorate title. I think they'll just be like, could you please call me doctor? I have a doctorate, and they're really chill about it. With my professor, who's a doctor, they have it in their syllabus that's just like, please refer to me as doctor when like emailing me or talking to me, and that's about it. And like, if you don't know, it's not like a big deal. And yeah, this dude's making it out to be a bigger deal than it actually is. What if you took a person with a heart attack to a skin doctor? Even medical doctors aren't going to heal people not in their field. Yeah, exactly. It's really dumb because these people can't comprehend that terms can have multiple meanings.
Delaware's community college system. Very soon you begin to lose consciousness again. For the first time in your life, you have no fear of death. In fact, you welcome its sweet release. You don't just walk toward the light.
That sounds hot.
So contrary to what you may have read, Dr. Jill Biden is not a healer. She's not allowed to write prescriptions. She wouldn't know what to do with your appendix. Dr. Jill has an education degree from some school in Delaware, and you're supposed to find that highly impressive. She could be a surgeon general. Now, many have laughed at the apparent absurdity of this, but we took it seriously because that's our job. We actually read her dissertation this week, the very document that made her, quote, a doctor. And what did we discover when we did that? We're going to give it to you in a diagnosis. Dr. Jill needs reading glasses. Either that or she's borderline illiterate. There are typos everywhere, including in the first graph of the introduction.
Illiterate.
Dr. Jill can't write.
Wait, isn't this a draft? If it's a draft,
parts
that would make sense why there's
written in a foreign
spelling
language
problems.
Using English words. They're essentially pure nonsense, like pig Latin or dogs barking. The whole thing is just incredibly embarrassing. And not simply to poor illiterate Jill Biden, but to the college that considered this crap scholarship.
I also really like this photoshopped Jill Biden with these people doing surgery, and how she's one, a flat image, and two, like really badly proportioned among all these other people. It's really funny how shit their graphics person is. Is he gonna show us the draft? I don't know. Let's go for, I think this is it. 3/4 of the class will be Caucasian, 1/4 of the class will be African American, 1 seat will hold a Latino, and the remaining seats will be filled with students of Asian descent or non-resident aliens. That sounds cringe. That sounds really cringe. I mean, I don't see any grammatical problems, but that sounds really cringe. I don't like the Bidens. I don't like Joe or Jill Biden. I don't like this shit. This shit is dumb. I don't like it. We need better. We need better people. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else worthy of he calls her illiterate, and he doesn't really, I don't think he has much to go off of there. Yeah. I'd say illiterate are the dumb people in my comment sections. I describe them as illiterate, but I wouldn't describe Jill Biden as illiterate. If you've gotten that far in life, you're probably not illiterate. Yeah. Please put that meme on your thumbnail. I might. I think that about covers it. Hold on, can I step on Ben Shapiro? I really want to step on Ben Shapiro real quick.
Okay, so people are...
Oh yeah, let's... Okay, let's... Ben, my feet on your head. Oh yeah. This is you want to be in my thighs, Ben? Oh wow. Yeah, get this trans girl feet in your face. Ben, indulging in degeneracy. Live on stream. Let's go. This is a poggers moment. Anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's little segment. It was small, but I'm loopy because I am lacking blood, because of my doctor's appointment. They had to analyze my blood, but that doesn't matter. I love you all, and yeah, it's just a short little one, and yeah, goodbye everyone.